Camera.
Thank you. Good evening. It is February 14th, 2024. I call the DeKalb Township Board of Trustees meeting to order. May I have a roll call, please?
Trustee King,
Present.
trustee McNutt,
Here.
trustee Thurman,
Here.
supervisor Hess.
Here.
Trustee Bradlow is absent and also present as Commissioner Smith.
Yes, Trustee Bradlow notified me she's not feeling well. And
Feels better.
Assessor Dyer also is not feeling well. So, pledge of allegiance, please. Trustee King, please.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, next approval of the agenda. Does anyone have any changes they want to make to the agenda? Okay. There's no presentations, no members of the public, so getting right into reports. So first I'd like to recognize today's the 16-year anniversary of the tragedy at NIU, and just that stays on our minds years later. I don't know if you're both employees there at the time or.
Yep, one of my students is taken away.
So thinking of everyone, along the same vein, you may have seen recently that a member, trustee of the Sycamore Board of Trustees recently passed away. So I reached out to the supervisor to express our condolences for the loss of their trustee, Russ Josh, who was a 40-year trustee.
He passed away. Wow, I did not.
So that's the second one they've lost in, I think, 2 years.
His wife was long-term, longest term elected official of the county for a long time.
So, yeah. And then just a rundown of things that have happened since the last meeting. January 17th, I was asked to chair a community migrant discussion. The purpose of that was to bring in community members and make sure that they understood as units of government, the city and the township, that if there were to be a massive arrival of migrants here, asylum seekers, that we don't have the capability to handle that. Anything beyond the city's willing to do like a 24 to 48 response handling to provide overnight shelter and food and find out, where asylum seekers, if their intention is to go elsewhere. But anything beyond that time span, they aren't prepared. So thankfully, some members of the community, including some social service agencies and a lot of churches, stepped up to take control of that plan, and they're already assembling and have things in place. So we just, it's best to be proactive than have no plan in place if and when it ever happens. On the 18th, Casey and I spent the half a day at DeKalb Township, understanding how they operate their general assistance programs, because it's a little bit different from ours. And learned quite a bit there. On January 23rd, the Secretary of State's event was slated to be here, and as they were driving here, the van broke down. So that ended up being canceled, but Kim really stepped up to the plate, and as she was calling people canceling, she taught them or helped them like walk through how to go online and make an online appointment with the Secretary of State. Just to go to the office here in DeKalb. I've had some people from the community come up and approach me when I was out and about, just to tell me how pleased they were with that level of customer service. So she did a great job with that. January 26th was a joint review board meeting. And you may have seen in the news that they're looking to possibly create a TIF district on 4th Street, starting at Taylor, coming all the way down here to the tollway. So this building would be included in that TIF district. And then there could be some changes that come to 4th Street with that, just preliminary conversation. 1099s were issued at the end of January to all of the landlords that we paid rent to over the year. February 1st, Bill Newkirk from Newkirk and Associates came out and spent the morning with me, just ongoing maintenance of our QuickBooks, trying to clean it up to make sure that we're in a good place for the audit. And that, we're using QuickBooks to help them be efficient in their audit process. So that was good. February 2nd, Jason Stoll from Fair Grand came out along with an architect. And so I do want to make sure that we have included in the minutes that we are ready to move forward with the Oakwood Cemetery paving project. On page 3 is an email from Jason that talks about what the next steps are going to be. And so we have been putting money in reserves for this project. And so in 2024, we'll be doing it and using up those funds. And then upcoming events. I am happy to say that we have been successful in working with Kishwaukee College, and we have a senior car clinic on the calendar for April 19th. It is going to be at Kishwaukee College because it's students who are going to be doing it as in one of their automotive classes. So we are going to do that in conjunction with Triad and Kishwaukee College. And we're looking to have some other vendors there too. So we have some questions for you about past car clinics since you had involved. March 1st, we have a citizens utility clinic at the library where people can have their bills checked and make sure that everything is being billed correctly. On May 18th, we have a shred event, and June 15th, an electronics recycling event. And then your on page 2 is your monthly general assistance report to show you what January was like, how many we had as far as intakes, general and emergency assistance. Any questions about any of that?
I had a question about the tip. What are the advantages if that happens? Well, I guess it's gonna happen, coming down this far. What is that? How does that impact?
I don't know enough about it. We didn't really have much of a discussion about it, and I know at Monday's board meeting or city council meeting, they approved to have a study, like a feasibility study done about, and I think there's certain criteria that has to be met for it to be a TIF. So I think that study has to be done, and then maybe we'll know more about it to be able to answer a question like that, because I don't.
Okay.
I think one of the reasons is to revitalize this area, the whole 4th Street corridor.
Oh, okay, 4th Street corridor. Okay.
Yeah, that's what they're referring to it as.
All right, all right.
So,
But yeah, sort of like that 7-Eleven. One day I was there and one day it wasn't. Remember? And I said, what happened? You're like, they closed it. I was like, well, duh. Okay.
any other questions? Clerk's report, Highway Commissioner?
Yeah, I passed out, just a kind of a guide for this year. Kind of what we're looking at as far as, projects, equipment purchases and sales. I as well met with actually the same architect and engineer, that Mary did. I'm a little more out on the building. A new building project, as you can see, the very inflated cost. on a new storage building here on site for the extra equipment that's now spending its life outside. And then some of our internal projects, some of this could change. For instance, Monday night, I think city council, which doesn't really mean a lot to me, that passed to approve this purchase of that. The one plow truck from us, they've had it now and put some money down as rent. To kind of go for that purchase of truck 5 and different natures, but I have a verbal commitment from Rockford Township. And the other equipment, I will say the first one line item there, the large trailer sale. That was a 1989 trailer that we've been using a lot. My predecessor purchased that from the county highway department used for $2,500. That's what it sold for, is $12,200 at auction. And I received a check today for $11,800 and some change, because the auctioneer gets his percentage of that. So that did extremely well. Equipment prices used are through the roof.
So it was a 1989, but what year did the?
We purchased it in '09 from the county highway department. So that's just kind of a summary I wanted to put together for you guys. Some of the contracted that are going out, those are actually slated to go out for bid in March and get accomplished this year. The 2 drainage projects and the sidewalk, and then the paving project, it's not much of one will go on this summer as well through the county highway department, their engineering department. So that's it. And if you guys more than welcome to take that home, I know I rattle on a lot of days and I'm like, let me give you something that you can see what's going on. And then if you have any questions, you can contact me later. We've got all our salt here on site now for this year that was purchased. We're trying to stay at the minimum of 80%. We ordered 300 tons, so we took in a little over 240 ton, or 80% of that. Our cost per ton is 98.95. That's very high for, I paid as little as 43 a ton. So yeah, that's why I'm trying to keep that to a minimum, and we have enough on site to make it through the remainder of the winter. So yeah, working on signs. The regulatory signs are 1 a year. There's some new guidelines that came out on that. We have to do an annual night check, and we have to do an annual night reflective check. So I've talked to the guys. I have to get the kit. Guys got to go out at night. They have to put a reflective color matching, like red for stop sign. Then they have to stand back 65 feet, shine a light on it, and see that the reflectivity matches in order to stay with the MUCT book, which is a national book, just to kind of stay up to date on that stuff. Other than that, my budget for the 2020, starting April 1st, 2024, will be posted on the website and stuff by March 11th, and able to have that 30 days of posting prior to the or the April meeting to be approved. My hope is. And yeah, early voting starts here the 1st of March. So we will not be in this room for the March meeting. That's it for me. If there's any questions.
So you all paint the signs?
Take them down and completely replace them. Because it's a reflective sticker, basically on a piece of aluminum. So yeah. It's not cost effective for the amount of signs we have, or realistically, I would hard spend to believe most signs, especially the regulatory signs, that you would want to make them yourself.
Okay.
It brings all the liability onto you, and it also, the equipment is costly and you have to constantly update it. So
I also saw a sign. I think the city is asking somebody to buy some road. How you buy a road to clean up. Do we do that for township roads? Ask people to.
no, what we do is we get Boy Scouts walk our ditches. And then we usually donate somewhere between $500 and $1,000
Oh,
to the Boy Scout troop, a local troop.
okay.
To do that, it's kind of a benefits them for scouting and different things. So,
Yeah. Get it, yeah.
Did something happen to the Glidden, any Glidden signs?
They quit working for a while and we just had to get them rebooted and clean the solar panel on top.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like
Snow-
weather related, I kind of figured.
Snow on top of them and they, they get a layer of slime on them, basically. I don't know what the right terminology is. And with that, those signs have a direct 800 number that you can call 24/7 and Jamie kind of handles that works for the road district and he reached out to him and we had to disconnect them and I don't know all the logistics, but they're working now. I
Oh, good.
hope so.
How do we do with the last snow?
I thought relatively well. None of us went in the ditch.
Okay,
Almost half an inch of ice, I think we got on the rural road, so it was a little,
it was a lot.
yeah, it was the worst I'd had in 4 or 5 years. But,
Yeah,
we made it with the salt, we made it with all the drifting. I apologize for not being here at the last board meeting, but I had been coming down about 1 o'clock in the morning, going out all night, doing, getting snow pushed back and things of that nature, and I just had wore myself to a point where I couldn't keep my eyes open anymore, so I apologize for that.
no apology.
How is the salt with the additive performing?
Very well. Actually, we used less tonnage per snow per truck than anyone else in the area.
Wow.
On a per mile basis. So,
That's good news.
yeah, really, I mean, behind me, it was burning right off. In front of me, I mean, I was going down the road sideways sliding. And you had to stay on the crown of the road. Otherwise you were sliding sideways into the ditch.
Any,
Good time if you ever want to come for a ride.
Yeah.
Sounds like a TV show for the History Channel.
all right, anything else? Assessors report, Rich just asked me to relay that the Board of Review is finalized and there'll be no more hearings. And then trustees reports, trustee Thurman,
No report.
trustee McNabb,
No report.
trustee King.
I think no report. I know, hard to believe.
Okay,
Yeah, I do want to say I wasn't here either, not because of the same situation that Craig had.
She wasn't with me.
Yeah, I have a, wow, what was that?
Oh, what?
Really? Is that new?
You get used to it.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
no, I don't think I have either.
The semis that are empty going, yeah.
Oh.
Bouncing.
Wow, okay, cause this sounds like somebody dropped a big ball or something. I have a,
Across the bridge.
yeah, a nerve condition, and so it was really acting up, and so if I came, I would not have been functional.
No.
So that's why I didn't come. It's not because it's so nice.
Well, I'm glad you feel better.
Thank you. I'm glad, man. Me too. It's bad.
Okay, moving on to bill paying. Can I get a motion to approve the January audit report in the amount of $188,262.28? In February bills to pay in the amount of $75,961.66.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Any questions?
I had a question. I lost the page though, and it might not even be about that. It's about, something Nebraska, Iowa.
Yes, that's a supplier of
Oh, okay, so,
nuts and bolts and different things of that nature.
okay, that was my only question.
Anyone else?
I'm
I'm sorry.
Did we always have the reconciliation detail? Is that's been for forever?
Since this format, the Facebook.
The QuickBooks, okay, I had noticed it, especially like, it looks like this. Okay, that's cool. Then I don't know where I've been, so.
Yep, and then that's why I send you the bank statements with the board packet every month too, so you can compare what the bank has versus what QuickBooks kicked out. And
Okay,
make sure that everything.
the profit and loss looks familiar, but the whole reconciliation part, I'm like, that looks, no, but, okay, thank you.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Thurman,
Yes.
Trustee McNutt,
Aye.
trustee King,
Aye,
supervisor Hess.
Yes.
4 ayes and 0 nays, the motion
I gotta
passes.
have one eye.
you gotta have an eye, man,
think
you
it's
gotta get it
wonderful.
in.
Yeah, 2 eyes.
All right, can I get a motion to receive, file, and approve the treasurer's January budget reports?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Trustee King,
Aye,
trustee McNutt,
Yes.
trustee Thurman,
Aye.
supervisor Hess.
Yes.
4 ayes and 0 nays, the motion passes.
All right, moving on, nothing for unfinished business, so new business. First thing, I rather, before taking a motion on it, I just want to explain ordinance 2024-002. So in front of you on the yellow sheet of paper is prices as of today. So in 2021, we passed an ordinance to for electrical aggregation within DeKalb Township. This would be available to residents who don't live in city limits to get a better rate for electrical service. That's due to expire in August of 2024. And so, for continuity purposes, acting a few months in advance to get this approved and only for a 1-year period because of the election next year. Don't want to do anything that exceeds by far, those of us in office. So, Dynegy, who is our current provider, provided the best price at 6.266 cents per kilowatt. So that is the ordinance that's in front of us tonight, is to approve this electrical aggregation program and authorize just a 12-month contract. So that contract was sent over today because I wanted to wait and get today's bid prices to make sure that we are going with the lowest. And this is a opt-in program. I'm sorry, I think it's an opt-out program so that individuals will all automatically be enrolled in it, and then they have to, they'll receive something in the mail if they want to opt out of it. But it is, you can see it's, almost a whole cent lower than common prices. So that's what's in front of you. So at this point, I'll take a motion to approve ordinance 2024-002T, the electrical aggregation program, and authorize a 12-month contract. Second that. Any discussion about it?
when did we do this before?
In May of 2021. And it has gone on for months or years prior to that. It looks like Eric Johnson is the one that started doing this. I think it became, the state wrote some sort of legislation for this, and
I remember when people could start changing, I just didn't remember, that's all, it's just
Yeah.
all totally random.
so it was a 3-year contract, and now that's expiring. Any other discussion?
And this expires in August, so it'll run from August 2024 to August 2025.
Correct. Else? Bill, did you have another?
Oh, no,
Okay.
it's right here, right now.
Okay.
I don't know what to think.
Nothing else? Roll call, please.
Trustee King,
Aye,
trustee Thurman,
Aye.
trustee McNutt,
Aye.
supervisor Hess.
Yes.
4 ayes and 0 nays, the motion passes.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the regular Board of Trustees meeting, January 10th, 2024?
I'll second.
Discussion?
I would like to make one correction. I have no idea how I did this again, trustee McNutt, but I want to acknowledge that you were in the room and not over Zoom.
I absent again?
Yes.
I don't know how I did that again. I'm sorry. So we'll fix that. I've had a very busy month. I apologize. And I think the only other thing is Supervisor Hess, during your report, I'd like to put the word how there on page 47, because it's just like to discuss immigration in DeKalb and how the city and township, there's a missing word there.
Oh, okay.
But other than that, I think we're ready to rock.
Okay, I caught that when I was reviewing them too, so I'm glad you brought it up. All those in favor signify by saying aye. When opposed, abstentions. Old business? There's none. Executive session, we do have a matter for executive session tonight. So may I get a motion to enter into executive session to discuss litigation and the purchase or lease of real property for the use of public body, 5 ILCS 120 -2 C 5 and 11.
So move.
Sorry,
A second.
You just did that all.
No, I said that's a mouthful.
Yeah. Roll call, please.
Trustee King,
Aye.
trustee McNutt,
Here.
trustee Thurman,
Aye.
and supervisor Hess.
Yes.
Trustee McNutt, you meant yes, right?
I didn't. I corrected it.
It just took me a second. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
It was a here, yeah.
Okay, we now reconvening to the regular meeting at 6:51. Clerk, bless you, and will you please call roll?
Absolutely, thank you. Trustee King,
Present.
trustee Thurman. Here. Trustee McNutt,
Here.
supervisor Hess.
Here.
4 ayes and 0 nays, there's a quorum, or 4 present, there's a quorum.
All right, moving on to L, other business, upcoming meetings. The Committee on Youth will be meeting for the first time on February 20th. So we will report back on that in our March meeting. We have an Efficiency Act Committee meeting for all of us to be at on February 27th here at 6 p.m. And we will be presenting the report at that meeting. And then our next Board of Trustees meeting, it's going to be at a different location at the police station in the community room on the 2nd floor on March 13th, 2024. That's because early voting will be set up in here. So any questions about any of those dates? All right, with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn, please.
Before we adjourn,
Yes.
I don't know if anybody said it, well, you couldn't have said it last month. I just want to acknowledge that it's Black History Month. And I don't know if we said anything about that. And we do have 2 Black trustees. I used to be here by myself. Yeah, I don't know what happened before I got here. And it is Valentine's Day. So we are here on Valentine's Day. So I just want to say that. I think, the nation celebrates it and acknowledges it. So I think we should as well.
All right, a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? All right. Happy Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.